Alright guys, so this video is going to go over how to perform a dumbbell RDL, and the dumbbell RDL is going to be a movement that will target most of your posterior chain, meaning most of the backside of your body, including your erectors, your upper back, traps, which is part of your upper back, your glutes and also your hamstrings. And with the dumbbell RDL, it's a good teaching tool before moving on to a barbell. Typically I find it's a bit easier to get the hang of in comparison to a barbell, and as well as that, it can also be a good tool if, let's say, you've got a lot of demanding movements in your program, so that you can do like a hip hinge variation, maybe if you're doing one twice in a week, without needing to like handle as much weight as you would with like a barbell, helping kind of limit the amount of fatigue you accumulate. So when we're doing a dumbbell RDL, what I always like to do is start off on the bench. That basically saves you wasting energy, getting into position and having to lift the dumbbells up off the ground, wasting energy that you could actually put into your set. So when we're doing the dumbbell RDL, what I like to think about is with cues first of all. Sometimes you want to use as little cues as possible to get your form right. So the main cues I'd kind of use for an individual, if I had to give some general ones, is keeping a proud chest, pushing the hips back, and making sure you're keeping the dumbbells nice and close to your body. So I'll do a quick demonstration and I'll touch on a few more points. So with your stance, see if I told you take a step and jump as high as you can, that's roughly the stance you want to take. It'll be a bit narrower in the squat and your feet will typically face forward a touch more. So for example, that's what my stance would typically look like. And when we're performing this movement, what we're focusing on doing, keeping the dumbbells nice and close, pushing the hips back to lower, and then drive them forward and repeat that process. And then what we're doing as well is keeping a proud chest. You don't want to do it to the extent that you won't let yourself bend over. You want to allow yourself to bend over, but what we don't want is this. So we're thinking about keeping a proud chest. While doing so, push your hips back as far as you can until you feel the stretch in your hamstring. Once you feel that stretch, that's you at your max range, because look what happens if I go any lower. So you push your hips back. This is me getting a max stretch. If I go any lower, it's either from my lower back rounding or my knees bending. On the topic of your knees bending, you want a soft bend in your knee, as you can see here, and this will allow you to kind of stretch your hamstrings fully without using a lot of quad. However, if you want to bias or target more glutes throughout this movement, what you can actually allow is a bit more bend in the knee as you lower, and what that will allow you to do is bend at the hips a bit further, or in other words, get more hip flexion, which basically means you can lengthen the glute more, and your hamstrings being fully lengthened won't limit you throughout the movement.
Thanks very much for watching. The full video is exclusively available to my online coaching and personal training clients. If you are interested in personal training or online coaching, feel free to inquire via the link in my bio, or simply drop me a message on any of my social media platforms, or give me an email for more information.